Good day, gentlemen. I've been with my girl for over 5.5 years, and to be honest with you, we've built an incredible relationship, and not just that, but in those 5.5 years, I've made more progress than 99% of men my age. And to be honest with you, I always thought, that's just linked to my ambition and my discipline and this and that. But I realized that that was not actually the case. Yes, that contributes to it 100%, but my relationship played more of a role in there than I would want to admit, to be honest with you. And I don't want to get involved in the whole debate of monogamy versus sleeping around, because I think that just wastes time. What I want to do is I want to give you a perspective, and I want to give you 5 brutally honest lessons that many successful men know and you don't about relationships. Because sure, every once in a while some billionaire gets divorced, right? And all the red pill guys and all the men going their own way movement guys, they're all going crazy because he lost 50% of his wealth to some random woman, right? What they don't realize is that they're actually kind of little boys. These red pill guys and men going their own way guys, just little boys complaining about how tough the world is, instead of actually conquering that world, which that is what that billionaire who got divorced is actually doing, right? And so the thing is, yes, that might happen, but why do all pro athletes, all artists who are very successful, all successful entrepreneurs, why do they all choose marriage or a long-term relationship then if that risk exists? Well, we can look at people like Alex Hormozi, entrepreneur, right, who got his success while being in his relationship, right? We can look at people like Chris Bumstead, the bodybuilder, entrepreneur, now father and husband as well, right? We can look at that guy who also started winning Mr. Olympia contests, right? Bodybuilding contests, and started building his companies while he was in his relationship, not before. And now he's just exponentially gaining his success here. And we can look at people who had success before they got into a relationship, or who already had success. For example, our favorite playboy, right? Dan Bilzerian, who literally recently said, hey, you know what? I actually think monogamy and just having one woman for the rest of my life, I think that supports my goals the best. That blew my mind. And not just that, but also I saw a clip recently of this guy named Casey Zander, who's also on YouTube, and he pretty much promotes what I would see as degeneracy, but yeah, he just promotes sleeping around at the end of the day. And that guy said years ago, he said to another guy, most of the successful entrepreneurs and just successful men in general that I know are all married or in long-term relationships. So even that guy knows this. And the thing is this, man, why do all these men take these risks? Why do all these billionaires, artists, pro athletes who could have any woman in the world, why do they take this risk of getting married and just having one woman in their life? I'm going to explain exactly that to you, because it's not really a risk. It's actually something that adds to their life a lot. Not just because they have one woman that they can have sex with and love and all that kind of stuff. It adds to their success, and I'll tell you why. Point number 1 is she's the biggest motivator. She's the biggest supporter in your life. And not just that, but in general, let's be honest, as heterosexual men, the biggest motivator in our life are women, or is, for me, for everyone else in a relationship, is one woman. Let's just be honest about that. Thing is, yes, you start work, you work out after a while, right? You go to the gym after a while because you actually like working out now, but you started because you wanted to get women. You started your business because you wanted to be more rich to get more women. Whatever you did, right? You did it for love. You did it for a woman or for multiple women. That's the biggest motivator. And I'll talk more about that actually in the very last point. The thing is this, man. I'm working around 75 to 85 hours a week right now, which sounds crazy to most people, but for me it's not even that hectic, I'll be honest. Yes, I'm skipping a bit of sleep here and there, but I still have free time. I still have enough time to spend with my girl because my time management is so good. But at the end of the day, man, I have days where I don't want to get out of bed. Today is one of those days, man. I worked until 11:30 p.m. yesterday, got up again at 6 a.m. I don't want to be here right now, I'll be very honest with you. But the moment I have this thought of, fuck man, I should I just not work today? Should I just not do this? I'm like, no, I have goals, and I have a girlfriend that I have to not just like take care of or something, but I feel this obligation to build a great life for us. And she's gonna make money, 100%, and she should. And I'm not saying she shouldn't make money or she shouldn't work or she should just rely on me, right? She can if she wants to. But at the end of the day, man, I just see that as my duty. And not in a simpy way or anything, but I want to do it. I genuinely just want to do it. I want to provide, I want to build security, not just for myself, but also for my girl, for our future children. all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, man, there's a bunch of examples that I could name here of men who have done similar things where their woman inspired them a lot. I think one of the best examples is this in Greek mythology, Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, right, who got lost after the Trojan Wars, got lost at sea for 10 years, wandered around, lost all his men that were with him, and still then after 10 years got back to Ithaca, to his kingdom. But he didn't do that for Ithaca, for his people, or for his son. He did that for his wife. His wife was the thing that kept him going. Every time he wanted to quit, every time he was like, nah, I just need to give up, his wife, Penelope, popped into his head and he was like, nah, man, I have to keep going. Another great example of this is the weightlifter, Matthias Steiner, who in the 2008 Olympics won the gold medal in his weight division. And that guy, man, he did that not for himself or for his team or just for the money or whatever. He did that for his wife that passed a couple months or like a year earlier. That's what he did it for. That's the motivation. And by the way, he lifted more in that last attempt than he ever did before. 10 kilograms more, I believe, which is massive. This is how much it can push you. And again, I'll talk about that more in point number 5, but man, you know this stuff already. Let's be honest here. Sure, I'm giving you great examples, but you know this stuff. You know how much she pushes you. Use that. And I want to give you one more example so you really internalize this stuff. And that is Napoleon Hill, the guy who wrote this book, Think and Grow Rich, around 100 years ago, who basically studied the most successful and most wealthy and most influential men around 100 years ago. And he realized, man, most of these, if not even all of these, are in a long-term relationship, are married, and are inspired by their woman, are motivated, are driven because of their woman, because of their relationship. And he realized not just that, but he also realized men who become successful with one woman, and then they suddenly have more opportunities for women, right? And then they act in degenerate ways, let's put it like that, they actually fall off. One after the other, they fall off, they lose their success. Because now what they're doing is they're not focused anymore. Their sexual energy gets completely dispersed at the end of the day, right? A good example, a modern example of this that many guys might know on YouTube is the self-improvement YouTuber Hamza. I love the guy, I'll be honest with you. He taught me a lot, he helped me a lot. I've talked to him personally in the past. But to be honest with you, Hamza, he 5x'd or even 6x'd his business, which is like massive. 6x'd his business in the first couple of months of being in his most recent relationship. And then when he broke up with her, which for most people seeing that, like, maybe we don't know the full truth, but he made it seem like it was kind of out of fear. Well, what happened is his business has ever since just stagnated. His views on YouTube are shit. He's losing a lot of members in his paid program, and not just stagnating, but he's actually like, his business is going down rapidly. He's losing the success that he's built so far. And that's just sad for me to see because he has a lot to give to the world and he's screwing it up right now. Let's be honest. The thing is, Napoleon Hill actually described this in a very simple way. He said there are mind stimuli for heterosexual men. Like that's the example that he made, right? Because he was a heterosexual man. There's mind stimuli that drive us to action. And the number one mind stimulus is our sex drive, is the emotion of our sex drive. That drives us to do things that we would never do otherwise. He said men, they get a superpower for action when they have this sex drive. And a simple example of this is, think of a bull and then think of a castrated bull that doesn't have a sex drive anymore. He's limp. He doesn't really do anything. He's just eating and sleeping and lying around and not doing anything. He's not driven to make something happen, right? Same thing happens to men when they don't use their sex drive for good. And the second most powerful mind stimulus is love, the emotion of love. And now when you can combine that, your sex drive, your love, and romance in a relationship with one woman, that's what Napoleon Hill said, then you become unstoppable. Then you become one of these guys who just takes action constantly, who just does things. And what he also said was that overindulgence in love or sex or romance leads to the same result as overindulgence in narcotics or gambling or that kind of stuff, right? It becomes an addiction, and that never leads to good. Now, point number 2 is something that I learned again from an entrepreneur, which is Sam Ovens. He's very well known in the online space, right? And Sam Ovens actually, he taught me something about making decisions. And he said, make decisions with a longer half-life. What he means with this is make decisions that don't just, for example, he made this example of, don't decide 3 times a day what you're going to eat. Just make a meal plan and eat the same thing every week. I've done that. And man, this is one of the reasons why I can work 80 hours a week and still have a lot of time. Because I know exactly what I'm going to cook. I eat the same 7 meals, or not 7 meals, but I eat the same meals every single week. And I spend literally 20 minutes per week in a supermarket grocery shopping. 20 minutes per week. Because I've made a decision once, okay, this is what I'm going to buy. And I buy the same stuff over again. I know exactly where to go in the supermarket. I know exactly how to cook this stuff. I made one decision rather than 3 decisions per day. And that one decision could last me a year whenever I want to change it, right? And not just that, but Sam Ovens also talked about the importance of, he called this the death by 1,000 cuts, right? Distractions, just 1,000 cuts. The thing is, in a relationship, there are 100 times, or maybe even more, less distractions, less things that get you off your path. If that relationship is obviously good, if it's completely toxic and all that, and you don't know how to solve that, well then that's bad, 100%. But then even people might say, but even if your relationship is good, being single, you have even less distractions. Yes, you have less distractions, but you don't have that support that we talked about in point 1, and the other things that I'll talk about in a second, the other benefits of having a woman, a woman that gives you feminine energy in your life. And when I say feminine energy, I don't mean like female gender roles or something. I mean the feminine sexual energy, the rejuvenating, supporting, and deriving life force that feminine energy really is. That's what I mean. To be honest with you, I don't just want, but sometimes I need feminine energy in my life. And I just need this balance between my ambitions, because I would overwork myself. Without any feminine energy in my life, I would overwork myself in 2 weeks. And I can say that confidently because I have burned out in 2021. And I had to take a 10-week break from everything and just recover and travel and just, I was completely burnt out. Like my nervous system was done. And that's why I can say this stuff. At the end of the day, I need this rejuvenating, supporting, energizing feminine energy that she gives me, that peace that she gives me. And to be honest with you, I could not imagine having to deal with the stress of messaging a bunch of different women on Tinder and setting up dates and sleeping with them just to get some feminine energy. And sure, there are other sources of feminine energy, right? There's nature. Surfing is an activity that gives me a lot of feminine energy. But then, these flies, man. But then still, I probably wouldn't even do those things if it wasn't for my girl. She's the one who pushes me to take a break, to go into nature. I would overwork myself in 2 weeks because I would just get up at 6 a.m. every single day, just work until I go to bed again and just not do anything else. I need people who pull me out of this routine, who pull me out of this stuff, and who, give me feminine energy by what they get me to do and also by who they are. Simple as that. And of course, this only works if your relationship is actually good, right? This doesn't work, again, if your relationship is toxic or just distracting you all the time. Man, my voice is funny today. I don't know why. And once your relationship is good, though, she can give you that rejuvenating energy, that peace that you really want. And that helps you then attack even more the next day, right? You calm down, you recover, you rejuvenate yourself by her feminine energy, by that peace that she gives you, and then you can attack again with full force the next day. Now, point number 3 is crucial for you to understand, but before we get into that, if you're one of those guys who's wondering right now, I have a relationship, but it's not really supporting me, and I don't really feel this push, I don't really know what to do, and I feel like my relationship just isn't good enough, but I want to be with this woman, I want to really make this work with her and build success in the meantime, then what you can do is you can apply for a discovery call with me. Because then I can get to know you and your situation, and I can see whether I can help you, and you can see whether what I'm offering makes sense for you. And also, I've helped a bunch of guys who were in the exact situation that you are in right now. I've helped them get to where they wanted to go. So I can probably help you as well. If you're interested, that discovery call is completely free, and we can just talk, have an open conversation. This is not like a brutally directly sales call or something like that. It's just an honest conversation where we talk about whether I could help you. And if you're interested, you can click the link in the description, sign up for that, put in your details, and we'll probably talk soon. Point number 3 is that challenges of relationships actually give us more strength for the challenges of the world, which most of the time are way heavier. Challenges of building a business, of losing weight, of getting a better job, of whatever it might be, right? Just handling life. Life is tough, and a relationship will give you challenges that you can overcome, and that helps you overcoming those, helps you overcome challenges that are bigger in your life, right? And not just that, but also a relationship is an indicator for how good your life is going right now. Especially like if you're with a woman who is more on the feminine side. No one's is 100% masculine or feminine, right? But if she's leaning more to the feminine side, the feminine lives in the present moment. She doesn't care about that you made $1 million 3 days ago. She doesn't care about that. She cares about how loved and how cared for and how trusted she feels in this very moment, how much she can trust you and your love right now in this very moment. And so she will tell you if you're doing bullshit. She will call you out on it, maybe directly, like verbally, or she's just gonna call you out with her mood, right? With her body language, whatever it might be. And to be honest with you, I understand men who choose a life of men going their own way, right? Just not forget about women, just I'm gonna go my way and whatever happens, happens, right? Or the red pill guys who sleep around and all that stuff, right? And I mean, the red pill still has some truth to it, 100%, but sleeping around, I don't see any benefit in that, to be honest. As you can probably see, thing is, I can understand those guys because I could have become one of those guys. When I was younger, I was extremely skinny. I got bullied for years. I was at the bottom of the social hierarchy. I got no attention from girls. I was shy as hell. And I could have gone down that path, just learn to manipulate women, all that kind of stuff, just go my own way, be frustrated about it, right? But I put up a fight. Because to be honest with you, all these men who choose that path, they're escaping. This is just a form of escapism. Escaping completely through sex, right? Completely through not just being with women, or escaping through sex, indulging in sex, right? When we ejaculate, we you know what happens to our body, right? We become a bit relaxed and we escape from our day-to-day thoughts, right? All that kind of stuff. And of course, many men chase that. Let's be honest. Thing is, I can understand that. Like I said, I could have become like that. But I don't respect it. Because these men, they're running away from what they really want. Because we can look into science, we can look into spirituality, and what becomes very clear is no matter who you are, if you don't have some mental thing that's actually going on there, like an actual like mental disorder or something, right? You want a deep connection with one person who you can go through life together with. Everyone wants that. And men who say, oh no, I don't want that, oh, I have an avoidant attachment style. Well, if you look into an avoidant attachment style, what it actually is still just, it's a fear of getting hurt. And that's why you stray away from relationships. But when you actually look at it, avoidant people still want the exact same as everyone else, which is a deep connection, a loving connection with one other person that they can spend the rest of their life with. That's it. That's the simple truth. And so, yes, I could have gone down that path, but I put up a fight. I gained that muscle. I learned how to speak to girls. I got over my anxiety. And I'm forever grateful for it, to be very honest with you, because I'm living very authentically right now. And there's no cognitive dissonance really. I know exactly the path that I'm on. I love the path that I'm on. And it's just very fulfilling because it shows me, hey man, like I'm proud of my younger self for getting me to where I am now. Now, point number 4 is a really interesting one that I guarantee you haven't heard anywhere else. Point number 4 is, let's be honest, we really respect that man who has this loving and trusting and joyful and passionate relationship, that peaceful relationship. They support each other, they have a lot of fun together. You know that they secretly have great sex with each other as well, right? We really respect that guy. We might even envy him a bit. The thing is, a good relationship will continue helping you to win. It will help you to win more and more and more. I'll tell you why in a second. The thing is, you realize every single day, hey, I have achieved something that most men will never in their life achieve. And this sounds harsh, but I'm quite young. But I have achieved something that most men will never in their life ever achieve. And now you might think, oh yeah, but that will make me complacent, right? Achieving that will make me complacent. Actually, it will do the exact opposite for you. And I will tell you why. there's something called the winner effect, which pretty much just means people who start winning, they continue winning, right? You can see this in any big tournament, for example, like a football World Cup or something like that, right? The team who just keeps winning, maybe by a slight bit, they still score a goal in the last minute or something. They keep winning and keep winning and keep winning. And this is because of something that our bodies do for us naturally and our minds do for us naturally. There's this example of gorillas. When there's a group of gorillas, you have the silverback, right? Who's like the dominating male in that group. What happens when one of the younger guys gets enough strength and enough intelligence to beat that silverback in a fight? What happens is that young guy gets a huge boost in testosterone, so he grows much stronger, he grows much more vicious, much more able to beat the older silverback, and then he does it. But the guys who don't have that strength who don't have that chance to beat him, right? They don't get any testosterone. They're just on the side. They have to wait for their chance until they get strong enough. It's the same thing with us, man. We're still animals. And so when something shows you every single day that you're winning, when every single day your relationship shows you, hey, I'm winning, I have this awesome relationship, I've achieved something that most men have never achieved even in their life and will never achieve in their life, that continually shows you, I'm winning, I'm a winner, right? And when you have that mindset of I'm a winner, then you will continue winning. It's that simple. And of course, this only happens if your relationship is actually good, if it supports your goals, if you're able to handle it, if you're both capable and also courageous enough to actually handle her challenges and handle the whole relationship. But then, man, it shows you every single day you're a winner. And this is why those guys who you envy even, right, who you might respect, but even might envy, that guy who is in that relationship, why he continues winning, not just in his relationship, but in other parts of his life as well, right? He's the guy who builds a business. He's the guy who's in great shape. He's the guy who has a great relationship with his parents. All that kind of stuff, right? Now, point number 5 is the most important point in this whole video, because I always leave the most important point till the end of these videos, so only the guys who are actually committed to learning stuff and to actually doing stuff, only they get the most important nuggets of knowledge, right? Thing is this, man. Build a relationship that gives you peace. Build a relationship where she rejuvenates you. Build a relationship that you can just let yourself fall into and you feel peaceful, because that, again, we talked about this earlier, right? It will rejuvenate you. It will re-energize you for the next day so you can conquer your goals again. And then once you've conquered your goals, you can again, because you've conquered your goals, that shows you, hey, I'm a winner, then you continue winning in your relationship as well, right? It's an upward spiral. But not just that. When you build a peaceful relationship, what also happens is, at the end of the day, the feminine has this ability to pull you out of your head and into your body, right? This might be in a sexual way, this might also be in a completely different way, right? Out of your head into your body, from the thinking to the feeling state. And this can be done in a bad way and in a good way. It can be done in a dark way, like, let's say, dark seduction, right? For example, when we look into Greek mythology again, right, the sirens, these female creatures, feminine creatures that got the sailors off of their path, right? That's dark feminine seduction. But then there can also be light or good feminine seduction, however you want to call it, which that just means she pulls you out of your head into your body in a positive way, right? She gives you peace, you can relax, you can just, you know what I mean? And not just that, but then also when you have a relationship like this, you are able to make better decisions. This is funny. This again comes back to this guy named Sam Ovens, right? A friend of mine, guy I know. He recently talked to Sam Ovens about asking his girlfriend for advice or for her opinion on decisions. And Sam Ovens said, yes, do that. Because her feminine intuition, Sam Ovens, extremely successful entrepreneur, right? He knows this stuff. He said, yes, because her feminine intuition will help you make better decisions. Man, I've made the exact same experience in my relationship. For example, around 2 years ago, I quit my first business. And when I did that, my girl told me, hey, congratulations, but I didn't see you in that business for over a year now. I thought you should have quit that business a year ago. And she said it in a very loving way, as she does, right? But I'm going to say it like this, right? And I was blown away by that. She knew exactly what I had to do. And if I just asked her for advice, if I just asked her for her opinion, I would have saved myself a year of wasting time pretty much. That's incredible. And then funnily enough, even Andrew Tate, controversial as fuck. I don't care what you think about him. I don't care, like, you shouldn't care what I think about him. I do think he has good sides, and obviously with relationships, he mostly has bad things. But even he talks about the fact that a woman can give a man a lot of peace in his life. And if that man is very ambitious and he wants to build a lot of success for himself, then he needs a woman who gives him peace. And he needs to not just have that woman, because that woman won't fall out of the sky, but he needs to build that relationship with her, right? The funny thing is, man, there are so many examples. I think one of the best examples for someone who really has this peaceful relationship that really gives him a lot of energy, but who is that vicious competitor, is the surfing legend Kelly Slater. Kelly Slater, 11-time world champion in surfing, more than anyone else, right? He's won more times than anyone else. He retired at 52 years old while still winning events. Fucking incredible athlete, one of the best athletes ever. And unfortunately, not many people know about surfing, so not many people know about him. But he's comparable, like his competitiveness is comparable with people like Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, those kind of people, right? That's the level he's on. But he's also the kind of guy who can then get that peace from his woman, and who can just, after having a vicious competitor mindset for the whole day of competition, he can just sit down at a bonfire at night, play his guitar, and sing a bit. And to be honest with you, that I think is really inspiring. That's the level that I strive to, being so comfortable within yourself that you have this vicious competitiveness that I also have, but then you can just relax. You can just let yourself fall, and you can rejuvenate, you can re-energize, so you can then attack again fully the next day. Now, man, if you are the kind of guy right now who wants to build a lot of success in his life, and who also wants to bring his woman along and build that success with her and have her support you and then support her again, right? If you want that, but you don't know how to get there, you're stuck in that relationship that feels maybe a bit dull, or maybe a bit boring, not really peaceful, maybe even a bit too many fights and that kind of stuff, right? And it's not really supporting your life, it's more taking away from your life. But you love this woman and you really want to make it work with her and want to build that success with her together, then I can offer you a discovery call with me. You can hop on that call and just talk about your situation, just have an open conversation. It's not like a high pressure sales call or anything. It's just an honest conversation where we talk about your situation. You tell me everything and I decide, can I help you or can I not help you? If I can tell you what I do, what I'm offering, how that works and everything. And you can just decide whether you want to be a part of it or not. So if that sounds good, you can click the link in the description and join all the other men that I've already helped. You can just click the link, apply for that call. It takes 1 minute, just put your details in, and we'll probably talk soon. I'm excited to help you out. And yeah, man, have a good day. Bye.